Hello and back to the bottom. My name is Beast, and today I'm actually recording, unlike yesterday, because today I'm not stupid. Though I did almost forget about the time while playing Chrono Arc since the DLC released today. And the only reason why I really stopped was because I was fighting the new boss Shiranui, and I lost because I don't even know why I lost. My team was Karen. That's a Charon, like the ferryman of the dead. Uh, Mamuri or Mimuri, I don't fucking remember. And the assassin chick, because I've just got fucking unlucky and just straight up did not get a healer on my first recruitment, or the two recruitments you get. So for the third character, I literally just could not get a healer, which was unlucky. But I was doing fine. I was doing consistently a high damage while still having like rudimentary healing to heal the burning stake, because that's like the gimmick of the fight. Since you don't have a fourth party member yet when you fight her, it fills up the fourth party slot with a burning stake that has an ability that you can use twice per turn. The first time is free, the second time costs 1 mana, that heals any character other than the burning stake. However, if it has 0 HP, whenever you activate a card, it adds 1 burning stake counter, and at 4, it deals damage to the whole party. But that doesn't matter because it was at, I think, 2 burning stake counters, while Mamori, her gimmick is that she passively reduces the damage every party member takes by a certain percentage, and the damage that she blocks is stored in a Inner Desire card in your hand. The Inner Desire card can hold damage up to her max HP, and if it's full, it starts a new card. And I had 2 of them in my hand. Now, the important thing is that they expire 2 turns after the first point of damage is put into them. And if they're discarded or played, it immediately deals all the stored damage as pain damage to Mamori. Which pain damage is essentially, because when you take damage, you have like still like a green bar left that is easier to heal than normal, and pain damage does not. And if you have like you have the you have the red HP bar, then you have the green HP bar for damage you recently took, and then like the actual empty HP bar. If you take normal damage in that state, it immediately cuts away the green like health protection bar and deals the new damage on top of that. If it's pain damage, however, it just takes away the damage from the HP while having it all still be protected, quote unquote. Because you actually heal a reduced amount if you don't have the health, like the regeneration bar thing. And either way, I had 2 of them in my hand, and I used another skill that made it so both of them had a 3-turn counter instead of a 2-turn counter. And past 1 turn, so both were on 2 counters, on 2 turns. And I ended my turn, and for some reason, out of nowhere, my entire hand is fucking discarded without warning, because I think I had mainly just skills from her, and she just suddenly dies because the 2 skills of hers, the Inner Desires, they were discarded, and they're added as 2 instances of damage, reducing her to 0 HP with the first instance. And in this game, when you're reduced to 0 HP, you go into the negative, but you don't immediately die. Every time you take damage while you're in the negative, there's a roll if you endure or don't endure, and if you endure, you just add on the damage into the negative. However, if you don't endure, you're just dead. And if you take pain damage in the negative, that still also happens. So the first damage take just immediately fucking nuked her, and the second damage tick immediately killed her. So I just sat there with 2 squishy damage dealers, one of who doubled as a healer. Like, but not that good of a healer. So I just got fucked, basically. Fun. Anyways, it's been a few days since Mio and I promised each other to work hard. Her at her game and me at studying. 1 week to be exact. Oh yeah, hold on. Before I forget, I was gonna talk about this because I have decided to open my Discord channel. It has been open for a while at this point. It hasn't been open for a while. It's existed for a while. I just haven't opened it yet, and I've decided to open it. So the link should be down in the description below, unless something came up that made me delay it for some reason or another. Okay? Okay. Anyways, right. Actually, I feel like I forgot something when it comes to... I think I forgot something when it comes to the fucking server. Oh yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's that. Let's just get into it. 1 week to be exact. It went by in a flash, and now my makeup tests are only a day away. For my browser to stare at the practice test that Mio composed for me. According to her, she selected the problems based on what was likely to appear on my makeup tests. So, if I can get these right, I should in all likelihood pass the tests tomorrow. How do you solve these again? I know it's some trigonometry function, but what was it? Anguish. I racked my brains. I think the result of that being... Yeah, I haven't got a damn clip. I give up. No point wasting my time on a question I can't answer. Just gotta move on to the next one. Right thing to do. If you struggle on a question, move on to the next one and revisit it after you've finished all the other problems. Because if you don't, well, you might take so long on that one that you can't finish the others at all. Hour after hour. Wait, hold on. Hour after hour have gone by. I'm using all my time today to study for tomorrow's test. Mio and Shinku have also been giving me a great deal of help over this past week. And only after I receive my results will I know whether or not all this effort paid off. Oh jeez. Can't solve the next question or the one after that. Heck, I can't solve the vast majority of these. I'm totally stumped. The pen is slowly starting to draw to a halt. All what is going on, much all the trend is in the room. Oh hey, would you look at that? It's the fucking CG of her just sitting in front of the goddamn screen with a controller in her hand, and they had to censor it because Steam was being pissy about her just having a peek of underwear being shown. Yes, I have at this point remembered the fucking image and seen it as all. Someone, I will be entirely honest, someone did send it, and I remembered, oh wait, I feel like I've seen this in promotional material posted on Twitter. Yes, indeed I did. And it's literally just her sitting there with controller in hand, but you can peek down her shirt to see the bra, and her skirt is slightly lifted for a peek of painting. And that's why they had to cut this, apparently. I'm gonna scream. Still stuck on the never-ending hell of this visual novel. In the never-ending hell of this visual novel. Though she's making noticeable progress, stubborn as he was, she's so managed to bring the protagonist into the heroine's routes. Right now, as a matter of fact, she's managed to make it into Emil's route. However, she still seems to be experiencing a great degree of difficulty. The protagonist is still fighting back against her commands. As for Kanaki and the others, they all conceded defeat after 3 days of Drew. Mio's the lone soldier still fighting, in spite of the fact that the unsociable tsundere protagonist continues to toy with her and ignore both her wishes and the wishes of those around her.
休憩一旦お休み
Mio staggers to her feet. She sits down across from me and flops down at the table. Good job hanging in there.
疲れた本当に疲れたなんなのあのゲーム
Beats me. Think you can beat it though?
わかんないでも今日はやっとあの主人公を外出に誘えたの
Making good progress.
でし
She smiles
ょ
happily.
ここまで来るの本当に苦労したんだから今は敷島さんに教えてもらった攻略サイトっていうのを参考にしながら進めてるんだけど、そのサイトにもこの主人公が一定の攻略条件を飲み込むかどうかは
How
その限りで
terrible
はありま
does
せ
the
ん
VN have to
だなんて
be
注意書きがあるの
for a walkthrough to just say, you know, this should work, but quite frankly, we can't fucking guarantee it because that motherfucker is a goddamn willful bastard. Wow, it's like the guy has a complete will of his own.
本当にね
She gazes off into space. You can tell she's completely drained, honestly, Mio.
何
You don't have to keep going, just honor your promise with Kyo. I mean, Kyo herself even got fed up with it and she hasn't come out of her room since. Kyo wasn't alone either. Kana, Ayumu, and everyone else, they all gave up, citing their frustration with the protagonist's nasty language. Kyo, for her part, though, is probably in her room right now, completely engrossed in a totally different game. Come to think of it, I wonder if she decided to just deal with the dust. What I'm saying is, well, I don't think there's any need for you to tackle this game so seriously any longer. Remember how insistent Kyo was that you play it? Yeah, even she's thrown in the towel.
ダメよそんなの
Really?
約束は約束ユーマは勉強を頑張る私はゲームを頑張るだから最後まで続けるのその約束は敷島さんは関係なくて私とユーマの約束だからうんそうなのよ
She always gives everything her best effort, no matter what it is. But part of me can't help but think if she has to mentally exhaust herself to uphold this promise, then it should no longer be called a promise, but an obligation.
でユーマの方はどうもう終わりそう
Yeah, I'm getting there. Continues working through problems on Mio's test. Well, there are numerous blank spaces with problems I couldn't quite solve.
その問題集で高得点を取れば本番も大丈夫だと思うんだけど
She talks her to the side, asks, feeling good about these problems. Bit of a tough question, or rather, just finished the last question.
できた
Yeah, it's currently not perfect, but yeah.
見せて採点してみる
Thanks. Pass my answer sheet to Mio. Takes no time at all to finish grading it. There's a very, very visible frown on her face. What I get?
45点
Holy crap, I did amazing.
どこがよ
While compared to what he usually gets, improvement is not compared to the average, it is compared to you before. Isn't the maximum score 50?
100点満点よ
Oh. No, oh, okay, never mind. He's just stupid.
半分も言ってない
Yeah, I did.
半分も言ってない
Oh, she bursts the lips and glares at me, seeming to say, explain yourself,
こ
mister.
の1週間あんなに勉強教えたのに
I'm so sorry.
私の教え方そんなに分かりにくかった
To be honest, based on what we've seen, yeah. Yeah, she looks both anxious and distraught right now. Nah, it's not your fault. Oh, maybe it's just... You have to let her know that I'm just as confused as she is.
なんていうか何
It just goes to show that school is the avenue for me. Liberators all used for the things they teach us in school. Take trigonometry, for example. When am I ever going to need that? My job is to set people's hearts free and send them to faraway places. I can accomplish that just fine without knowing how to solve trigonometric functions.
とにかくどうするの 明日の再テストで不合格だったら今年の夏休みは全滅よ。
That certainly would
悲
suck.
惨ね。
Guess my only option is to ignore those tests and run somewhere far, far away.
ダメ、そんなのダメよ。
Yeah, I guess I really should.
そういえば去年の夏休みはどうだったの？こんな調子なら去年も補習だったんじゃない？
You know, honestly, I have no idea. I can't remember. Usually I do have a vague memory of it. Seem to remember pulling out some sort of excuse about a relative of mine being in the hospital. Real reason though was that I was busy doing some work with Suzu, I think.
やっぱり私が何でも言うことを聞くっていうご褒美だけじゃやる気出なかった？
No, it was, really was. Said I could ask for anything I wanted, so I requested a date. It was a very enticing prospect and motivated me more than probably anything else could have. But no matter how motivated you are, no matter how passionate your drive is to accomplish something, you can't become good at things you're just naturally bad at. In any case, some people simply can't do certain things, no matter how hard they try. It's in their blood. It's in the blood. Sorry. It's all in vain, though. I've still got the entire night left, so I'm gonna keep studying down to the final
徹夜
hour.
で頑張るってこと？
Yes, I am. Still personally don't see any value in studying so zealously. Well, it can't hurt to put a little bit of effort in every now and then. Just fucking... Because we do know that some of the other worlds you can reach using the basement in this dorm have a different flow of time. Just go to one where the flow of time is faster. You know? Just... Instead of studying for a week, you get a whole fucking month. You can take it a bit slower, and it's probably gonna stick more. Alright, let's do this. Gotta do whatever I can to increase my chance of getting a passing grade tomorrow. Give myself a little pep talk, Mio.
それじゃあ今日は私も一緒に頑張る。
Huh? What do you mean?
あのゲームもう少しでクリアなの。敷島さんに教えてもらった攻略サイトの説明によると。
Oh, really? She's about to complete it. No, it's...
本当は来週の頭までにはクリアできればいいかなって思ったんだけど、ユーマが頑張るなら私も徹夜で頑張ろうと思って。
She stands up, then walks over to the game console and switches it on again.
音がうるさくて迷惑？
Nah, you've got the volume low enough.
それと夜中だけどゲームを続けてもいい？
Sure, I guess. Well, you're asking me permission now. Seems like a bit of a weird question. Actually, it makes sense that she asks you for permission since you are currently the person in charge of the dorm.
だって管理人代行でしょ？
Exactly. Oh! Yeah, now that you mention it. Yes, that didn't slip my mind. Just use the fucking acting manager duty as an excuse. Oh, sorry, I can't go to the supplementary lessons. I have to look after the dorm members.
寮生の共有設備を長時間独占するわけだから管理人の許可が必要じゃない？
Not that big of a deal.
夜通し電気を使うわけだし。
I threw up. A wry smile.
そう？
She tilts her head as she speaks, as she asks. Yeah, really? With that, she resumes the game. As the long, long night begins, Mio stares at the screen and relentlessly pushes the buttons to fight against our favorite protagonists' verbal abuse. There's silence. Sweet, comforting silence, though. Tap, tap, tap. For a while, the only sound to be heard in this room are Mio pushing buttons on her controller and the voice of the character bearing her name coming through the speakers. Mio?
何？
Wait for a good moment to interrupt before stopping the movements of my pen calling out to her. Honestly, I know I said I'd stay up all night, but if I were alone right now, I'm not sure how long I'd be able to last. Flick my gaze to the clock hanging from the dining room wall. Currently, it's 2 in the morning. Break of dawn is only a few hours off.
一人だとわからないけど、何？
Well, I just feel like I've got someone with me, or specifically you with me. If I've got someone with me, or specifically you with me, I can keep persevering till morning. Still, my eyes as I continue. Still, I don't want to keep you here. If you start getting sleepy, feel free to go on to bed.
大丈夫。無理なんてしてない。ただちょっと。
Just what? She stifles a tiny yawn.
ちょっと頭に酸素が足りてないだけ。だから眠いわけじゃないの。
Okay. I suddenly become aware of the slight smile that's formed under my face. We fall into silence again, working on our separate activities for a while. Eventually daybreak comes. Then, gradually, the room gets quieter and quieter. What? Wake up too. Morning already? The sun has already begun its ascent. Bright rays of light filter through the window from the beautiful, colourful scenery outside. Stretch my limbs out, loosening up my stiffened joints. Mio, look over to where she was. The game's still running, but her face is planted on the table. Her eyes closed. She's sound asleep.
ユーマにしては珍しく集中力が続いたな。
Yeah. Why'd you make it sound like I can't concentrate on anything for more than a couple of minutes?
そうかな。
Thought she'll laugh like that. I hear a tiny hint of laughter in her reply. Still just a teeny bit miffed at that, but I decide not to push it any further. What time is it? 6:30. All the others will be waking up shortly. Feel bad waking up Mio though. Though she keeps sleeping here, she's bound to catch a cold. Begin to weigh my options. However, my childhood friend then wakes of her own accord. She rubs her eyes wearily, tilting her head in confusion. Morning. Mio? She nods.
おはよ
Feeling alright?
う。私眠ってた？
So it seems. She purses her lips in annoyance, as if she ashamed that she did such a thing.
寝顔。
She looks away in embarrassment, then
私が
finishes.
寝てる顔見た？
I was too focused on my studying to notice.
さっきまで？
Yeah, though the lack of sleep's catching up to me now.
すごい頑張ったんだ。私は徹夜無理だったのに。
So, you've been playing that game for a whole week now. Finally started to enjoy it all?
しない。
Didn't think so.
この主人公実際に目の前にいたら私絶対にもいでるわ。
What do you... Once the words leave my mouth, I feel my manhood shrink as I realize the implication behind her threat. Well, anyway, I'll be heading out in a bit to go take my makeup tests.
うん、いってらっしゃい。
Keep your fingers crossed for me.
そうね、考えとく。
You don't have to actually do it, Mio. Just tell me you will, please.
私の教育方針はスパルタが基本なの。
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
朝ごはんは食べていかないの？
No, I think I'll skip for today.
でもお腹は空かない？大丈夫？
Honestly, I'm pretty hungry right now, but my worry is that if I eat something now, I'll fall asleep during the tests.
そう。
She then closes her eyes pensively. Mio? If I'm wrong, I ask her, to which she shakes her head and says, no, it's
わ
nothing.
かった。それじゃあいってらっしゃい。頑張ってね。
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot.
私はユーマが帰ってくるまで寝るけど。
Wish shows under my clothes right now, too. After answering her with a dry smile, I set off towards the empty school in order to take my makeup tests. Drop my head down on my desk lifelessly. Summarize the current situation. I finished half of the morning's tests. Mio was right. I really am the only person taking them. The only two people in the room right now are me and the proctor. I also have to take an exam for roughly every subject. Although I managed to complete half the morning ones, I'm still far from through.
今のところ数学と物理が終わったわけだけど、結果に自信はあるのか?
Hold on, he's halfway through and he says he had to take a test for every subject, but he's only completed 2 tests? What the fuck are you on about? The math don't add up! No wonder he has to fucking repeat the math test. Like, not even you seemingly can help him with that one, based on your fucking counting. Well, Shinku, they're done. As am I.
なんだよ。そんなに出来が悪かったのか?
You should know. You were watching me take them.
私はテストの内容見ていないから。
Why not?
ああ。ユーマがわからないと困ってたら、ついつい答えを教えてしまいそうなんだよ、私は。だから、せっかく頑張ろうって思ってるのに、その気持ちに水を差すみたいにして、甘やかしたらまずいだろ?
Imagine if he actually used fucking the Shinku cheat to actually be a good student, just to get people off their back, and then eventually he's in a route, and since the moment he gets together with a character, he immediately forgets that Shinku exists and he can't hear anymore. He's just gonna be there like, why was I ever such a good student? Oh well, I'll ace this test. Why do I not know any of this? And everyone's just gonna think like, oh, so now that he's got a lover, immediately fucking fucking performance drop of hell. That'd be fucking awkward. Wouldn't have any problem with that. I feel like I told you this before, but I love being spoiled. Soon the next test begins. Alright, let's do this. That's all the morning ones out of the way. Okay, just the morning tests. He was halfway done. I mean, then... I just need to make it through the afternoon round and I'll be done. However, I do have a decently long lunch break now before those begin. Man, I'm starving. At this point, I've become aware of my ravenous hunger. What I also realized is that I'd forgotten to pack anything to eat. Oh, this certainly sucks. So school's on a vacation right now, so if anyone needs reminding. Which means that naturally the school store is closed. If only I'd eaten breakfast this morning. If only. I begin to zone out. My mind entangles itself into a lump of dim-witted thoughts as I feel the blood flow into it, dwindling and dwindling.
朝ごはんの力は偉大なんだな。これからは規則正しい生活をしていかないと。朝は抜かずにちゃんと食べないとダメだな。
You're right. I'm gonna make a conscious effort to do that from now on. About 15 minutes remain on my lunch break. Okay, my motivation's at rock bottom. My stomach is absolutely bare and I need to pick myself back up. Just as those thoughts ramble through my mind, the door opens. Huh? Here's someone walk inside the classroom. They started the next test already. They might have moved the schedule up a slight bit. My hands fall onto the desk. I'm protesting the fact that my lunchtime should still be ongoing right now. Please, just let me rest a little more until the hour comes. That was what I hoped to convey through my actions.
どうしたの? そんなだるそうにして。
Huh? My head raises the second I hear that old familiar voice. What do you... Mio is sitting in the seat in front of mine. Do you, need something? I'm stunned. Brain almost seems to be in the process of melting in response to this baffling development.
お弁当作ってきたの。
You did?
お腹空いてない?
For a while, I simply stared at her, my eyes flickering. Yeah? My stomach rumbles in agreement. But Smachi says, good thing I came.
私のも作ってきたから、ここで一緒に食べていい?
Oh no, go right ahead. Oh, it's some nice CG right there. What the fuck is that? It's a 250 milliliters something. no surprise the lunch she passes me looks absolutely delicious. Thank you. Putting my hands together, I pick up my chopsticks. She and I have our own little lunchtime. Here in the classroom we're familiar with, but without all the familiar faces.
おいしい？お弁当ちゃんとできてる？
Oh, don't worry, it tastes great.
そう、それならよかった。眠たいの我慢して作ったから、ちょっと不安だったの。
That reminds me, didn't you say you were going to sleep after I left?
それはまあ何よ、言葉のあやってやつ？
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. However, the fact remains that you brought me a lunchbox. That alone makes me happy enough to stop caring about anything else.
ねえ、思わない？
Does what feel weird?
休みの日に制服を着るのってなんだか変な感じ。
No, I get you. No, it feels weird coming to school to begin with as well.
そうね。
Thought suddenly comes to me. You said you were really sleepy when you were cooking this. Did you not get any shut-eye at all after I left? Mickey's wouldn't no sleep then came over here.
そうよ。頑張ったんだから。
Like, plot twist, she's now a lot more assertive because after the frustration of dealing with that fucking VN MC, she's just like, you know what? Mine is also a dense one. I gotta just, you know, dig my heels in. Just go for it instead of being wishy-washy about this. Why though? Could have just gone back to sleep.
どうしてって、それは好奇心みたいなものよ。
I want to test something. She answers with a nod.
ユーマが驚くの見てみたかったから、ちょうど今みたいな感じで。
Look at her, my eyes flickering.
驚いた？
She tilts her head to one side as she asks. Yeah, you sure did. And not an affirmation.
だったらいいの。
Child friend looks pleasantly satisfied.
ここまでの試験、手応えは？
Honestly, I'm not sure.
そう。
I'm still going to give her all the remaining tests the best shot, though.
応援してる。
Though, I thought you said you showed no mercy.
応援するのとそれとはまた全然違うものだって私は思うけど。
Oh, okay.
ともかく試験結果は今日中に出るのよね。
Or so I've heard. I'm the only one taking these tests. With only a single person's tests to grade, surely can't take that long.
それならこれから試験が終わってその結果を見たら一緒に帰らない？
Walk home with me. Just take me by surprise again. I never expected her to make an offer like that to me. Seriously?
何？私と一緒に帰るの嫌なの？
No, I don't mind. It's just,
何？どうしたの？
it's nothing. Shake my head, hoping she won't press me further. Truth is, I was reminded of something that happened some time ago. I once asked Mio to walk home with me, but she flat out refused. She instead insisted I promised her I would get my act together from then on.
そういうことはよく覚えているんだな、ユーマは。
I'm not quite sure what she's implying exactly. Anyway, I ultimately respond to her quick with silence. Actually, I just realized imagine how fucking hilarious it would be if the moment Shinku's gone, his academic abilities just skyrocketed because turns out she's the culprit for his stupidity because, you know, turns out an entire second existence in your brain space takes up a lot of fucking memory. Like that, like she is not a zip file. That shit's big.
次の試験が終わるくらいにまた来るから頑張って。
Oh, thanks.
それじゃまた後でね。
Mio gets up and walks out the door.
やる気上がったか？
I nod. Stomach's full now, so I'm feeling more energized too. I'm confident that I'll be able to do my best and uphold my promise to Mio. The bell rings. The afternoon tests prompt to begin. I don't know what I'm doing. It's all over now. The test results in hand, Mio and I walk along the oceanside road. Look up at the orange sky. Focus on my surroundings. I can hear the cicadas crying at the waves as they lap against the shoreline.
風、風が気持ちいい。
She smiles faintly, holding her long black hair back as it sways in the ocean breeze.
さっき一緒に見た試験の結果だけど、
Yeah.
ものの見事に不合格だったわね。それにまた0点だったなんて。どうやったらあんなにひどい点が取れちゃうのか、そこのところが逆に不思議でたまらないんだけど。
She sighs, going on to say, well, this is where you kiss your summer vacation goodbye.
本当に残念。
Wait. I stare at her in confusion, eyes flicker.
何？
I mean, I never expected to hear a joke like that at you, so my mind, I guess, just sort of froze. It felt really weird.
何よ。
She puffs her cheeks in a huff and purses her lips.
こっちだって同じ。そんな真面目な反応見せられても困るんだけど。
The truth of the matter is, I didn't fail, I passed. My average score was 85, which is well above the pass-fail cut off. Man, I really worked my butt off. I muttered with a sigh and gazed at the far-off distance. Farewell tests, hello summer vacation. Now I can finally relax and enjoy my break. Also, this just proves my fucking theory that fucking Shinku is at fault for his poor academic abilities because the fucking data bank space that would be reserved for, you know, that kind of information is just being blotted out by waifu.
誰のおかげか忘れてない？
Oh no, don't forget. I faced her and bowed deeply. The first time since the rolling year, I'll be able to fully enjoy my summer vacation free of stress, and it's all thanks to you. To your help, Mio. Thank you. Thanks, honey. Okay, hard. She juts out her chest, seemingly satisfied with my provided response.
でも正直なところを言うと、本当に合格するなんて思ってなかった。
Her cheeks reddened in slight embarrassment. What? Because I did so poorly on your practice test yesterday?
そう。あと5点でやっと合格に届くというような点数だったし。
I guess pulling an all-nighter cramming last night paid off. That and the lunchtime Mio brought me, I feel like that definitely played a part. Sleepy. My yawn bruised in the very depths of my stomach, but I quickly stifle it. I don't. The body's really not used to studying for an entire night.
少し休んでいく？
At that suggestion, I follow her gaze. Her eyes point towards an area with a scenic view of the horizon out at sea. We sit there and eat lunch together often as kids. Yeah, I could probably use one. Just the relief from the tests being over hitting me all at once, but I'm super tired right now. Suddenly I get like 2 fucking CGs to use, huh? Aren't you fucking funny, game? Huh? First part, no fucking CGs because you feel the need to censor shit that you shouldn't censor again, and then the second part we had to use the fucking SD picture. Now you're just gonna throw 2 at my face. I'm gonna fucking find you and skin you alive. I don't know where I went with that. Anyways, we walk along the beach, gazing off at the distant point where sea and sky meet. No jokes or jibes uttered, no attempts at any sort of any sort to lighten the mood or make conversation. Simply bask in silence for all it's worth. as we gaze at the horizon out of the distance, shoulder to shoulder. A sky and sea. I'm not even gonna attempt that. Mio?
何
So, this might sound kind of weird.
変なことって
Well, just bear in mind my brain's probably not functioning properly right now due to all the exhaustion those tests have brought about. I preface and forewarn her before I carry on. I think I remember you once saying something to me. No matter how far out to sea you travel, the horizon line never gets any closer, always remaining far out of reach. The line created by the sky and the line created by the sea. Which of the two is more prominent, she'd asked me. I responded that I have to go here to find out, to which she accused me of lacking any imagination. That was the conversation we had when we were kids. But my experience with the tests today is just like the horizon.
何それどういうこと
Well, the fact I actually managed to score passing grades, that's something that seems equally surreal to me as the idea of venturing out to the point where the sky and sea meet. Yet I did it. I actually did it. And honest to God, had to have been some sort of miracle.
それは奇跡とかじゃなくてユーマが頑張ったからだって思うけど
I think so?
そうよそこのところは自信を持ってもいいって思うけど
Man, they're just getting embarrassing me. Anyhow, I just can't help but feel like I've reached some point that would have been completely inaccessible to me before. Of course, I'm aware that it's largely due to you taking the time over this past week to sit down with me and help me through things. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is... Words clip in my throat, though, as I prepare to continue my train of thought. Still, these are words that I need to say. What I'm about to say next is something that I have responsibility to tell me.
つまりは何が言いたいの
Thank you. I set my skin this time around. Thanks to your help, I was able to achieve something I've never thought possible. Without you, it probably would have forever remained out of my reach. That's what I honestly believe. So I really felt that I owed you a big thank you for this.
そんなに改まらなくても別にいいのに
Yes, it's just what I personally feel I have to do. I want to thank her. Perhaps it was nothing but a self-serving desire on my part. Saying it aloud, I almost felt a weight being lifted off my shoulders.
それじゃあこれからはもう再テストなんて受けなくてもいいように日頃からちゃんとしていく覚悟ができたってことなのね
However, she quickly blows my intentions entirely out of proportion. No, unfortunately, that's got nothing to do with what I'm saying.
何よそれ
She purrs her lips, pouting
と
at me.
にかくユーマはできないと思ったことを可能にできたってわけなんだ
I guess you're right.
どうしてこんな遠回りな言い方をしたの
If you wanted to thank me, all you needed to say was a simple thank you, nothing else. She remarks, tilting her head to the side. She makes a valid point, very valid one. However, I can still distinctly recall that moment when I laid eyes upon the horizon as the setting sun sunk beneath it. Is that me looking at the horizon with you right now? It reminded me of a certain sum that you said when we were little.
私に言われたこと
You said I had no imagination.
何それ覚えてないそれってどんな状況だったの
Well, it was way back when we were really young. I believe it was around when we first met.
初めて会った頃
Right, we were eating lunch and you were pondering the question of which was more prominent at the horizon, the line from the sea or the line from the sky. My response was that you'd never know unless you went there, and that's when you said I had no imagination.
めちゃくちゃね
He smiles
い
awkwardly.
くら想像力が膨大に豊かだからって海と空が同化しちゃうような場所にたどり着いたりなんかしないのだって実際には存在しないものだからその場所は
Yeah, it'd be literally impossible to do so. Especially if you're acquainted with the science behind it and what it represents. Still though. Hold on. some reason my arm is itchy. It's exactly what perplexes me. You know, I often ask myself what exactly you meant when you said that I had no
小
imagination.
さな頃の話でしょ。ただのザレ言。言葉遊びにもなってない。あの頃の私の言うことは当てにしないで。海と空が混じり合う場所。そんなのはいくら頑張っても、どんなに夢見てもたどり着けない。意味のない場所なのに。
Even that stance is sad in and of itself, though. Words come out like a song, riding along the sea breeze which brushes against her cheeks.
それに、どうしてそんなことは覚えてるの？忘れっぽいユーマなのに。
That moment, I see a hint of sorrow in her expression.
昔の私のことは覚えているのに。それなのにどうして今のことは全然覚えてないの？
I mean, it's not a conscious choice or anything. Chang's head and falls into silence. We didn't mean to upset her. But there's a very noticeable awkwardness in the air now.
でもそうね。今はそういうことじゃなくて。
Be useful if there was like a picture of little Mio here. What do you mean?
私も負けずに頑張ってみる。
Okay.
ユーマが頑張って頑張って、それで実際には存在しないだろうと思っていたその場所になんとかたどり着けたっていうのなら、それなら私だって負けてられないでしょ。途中で投げ出したりなんてできない。
What is this all about? I'm confused.
帰ったらあのゲームをクリアしないと。
She threw out both arms and stretched them wide. This was the promise. I'd reached my goal and you'd reach yours. Her long hair flutters in the breeze. With a few fingers, she takes a bit of that hair and plays with it. Her eyes soften as she breaks into a natural smile. You're still gonna keep playing it.
もちろん。これまでどれだけあのゲームディスクを粉々にしてやろうか考えたけど、でもユーマが頑張って結果を出したんだから、私だって負けてられない。
Since when did this become a contest? Also, in all honesty, I don't think you need to force yourself to complete that game. I'd already managed to pass my tests. This, our bet is over. I no longer have any need to study. Therefore, there should be no need to continue her part of the deal
ダ
either.
メよ。ユーマがちゃんとこうして目的を達したんだから。私も最初の目的くらいはこなすから。
Right.
あと本当にもう少しでクリアなの。あの主人公をギャフンと言わせなくちゃ収まりがつかないもの。
I laughed, thinking to myself that this most definitely wasn't her initial goal. No one would blame me for quitting a bit early. It's no big deal.
そんなことない。私が私を責めるから。私は自分で頑張るって言ったから。だから最後までやるの。私は嘘も嘘つきも大嫌いなんだから。
The more she says the lies and liars part at this point, the more I feel like she's not the same Mio that he grew up with initially. Like the Mio we see in the flashbacks that leads to them meeting Suzu for the first time. She then lightly runs ahead of me a short distance and turns around.
帰りましょう。そろそろ日が暮れちゃう。
Yeah, we'd better get going.
今日はゲームクリアまで付き合ってくれる？
Sure, I'm pretty curious to see the ending myself. Also, I passed my makeup test, which means I've now earned a date with her this weekend.
何？
That's nothing. Part of me worries. What if she's forgotten all about that part of the deal?
ゲーム内時間では今日が5月18日だから。
Mio and I started the game as soon as we arrived back. Thankfully, Kana offered to make dinner today, so there was one less thing we had to worry about. The prospect of her cooking is a little frightening, but she's been working hard at it lately, so everything should turn out alright.
攻略通りだと5月20日の選択肢を間違えなければ今日中にクリアできるって思う。
So what's the crucial choice about?
この攻略サイトによると2を選ぶようにとしか書かれてないの。
Okay. So I don't know what that option is or what that scene it appears in.
そういった説明がまるでなかったから。だから5月20日になってみないとわからないの。
Huh. I guess you just gotta keep playing until then.
そうみたい。
Mio goes to the load screen and boots up her save file like he's done numerous times before.
すごい。
Kyo lets out a gasp of astonishment.
すごいって何が？まさかこのゲームを初心者があまり経験のない人がここまでたどり着けるなんて。
It's an amazing feat, even with the help of a walkthrough, she boasts.
敷島さんのおすすめなんじゃなかったの？それはそれ、これはこれなんだよ。それどういう意味なのか微妙にわからないんだけど。
Kyo.
何？お兄ちゃん。
At this point in the game, does the player not have to worry about the protagonist revolting against their decisions anymore?
ないよ。大丈夫。そこは信頼してもらえればと。また僕が最後の最後でうまくまとまりかけた空気をめちゃめちゃにしちゃったりはしない？しないよ。この地点まであの主人公を導けたのならもう心配はないの。主人公のヒロインに対する好感度はマックス状態、デレデレ状態なんだよ。
No more Tsune. That's a relief. Thanks for return act is a free will again, forcing a bad ending. Mio would have started all over again, but ruining whatever progress she'd made. Judging by what Kyo said, though, it seems to have no need to worry about a scenario like that coming to pass. She said he's 100% did it, but sure isn't acting that way. The story thus far has been pretty bland and basic for the most part. They've been on dates, and we learned about their shared past, also learning why our protagonist hates fictional tropes with a burning passion along the way, and our protagonist was slowly but surely starting to warm up to it, although there hadn't been much more than that in the way of romantic developments. While their love was certainly mutual, there hadn't been any sort of physical intimacy between them, such as kissing or holding hands, for instance. And that's just how this game goes. Initially, I've been flabbergasted by the protagonist's personality. Once you strip off that outer layer, though, he was a pretty average and uninteresting person all in all. Perhaps this is what modern-day youth are after. Game companies realize this and purposely make the romance more passive to deal with this audience. Not that I've played older ones to compare. According to Kyo, after all, they are targeted towards men who have trouble speaking to girls in real life.
とにかく、あとは決定ボタンを押してお話を読んでいって、そして20日の選択肢を間違えなければいいのよね。こんなこと言ってるとなんだか手元が狂って選択肢を間違えて、おまけにセーブまでしていませんでしたっていうお茶目なフラグを立てているみたいだけど、それで大丈夫だよ。
Mio makes a point of saving the game after Kyo says that. She even quick saves, which she learned how to do yesterday. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's a lot of fun. Finally, the fated day arrives, May 20th. This is the final day of the game. The pair have just come back from the beach. On the way back, they stopped by the neighborhood park and now sit there having a heart-to-heart. Mio, I'm really glad you're my childhood friend. Thanks, smiles. It's a much more tender smile than I'd ever have expected, given how he was at the start of the game. It's incredible. Even though not much of a note had really happened so far. Still surprised by how much the scene is stirring my emotions. Knowing how twisted he was at the beginning of the game, I'm seriously astonished at this transformation. Mio's been working hard, both the Mio in the game and the Mio in real life. So stupid, so ignorant. I reject you time and time again, calling you some sort of fictional tropish filth. Why did I not see you who you truly are?
Yuma.
And help but cringe when I think about the person I used to be. Game continues. You're not fictional, you're not disgusting, you're beautiful. No two-dimensional being could make me feel so low.
私も嬉しい。部屋でゲームばかりに入れ込んでいたユーマが、歩夢くんばかりに微笑んでいたユーマが、こうして私の前で。あれ、もしかして今いいところですか？
All of a sudden, Kana returns from the kitchen. She wipes her hands on her apron as she eyes the screen cautiously.
私も混ぜてください。どうなるのか知りたいです。というか、私の名前がついているヒロインはどうなっちゃったんでしょうか？自然消滅。消滅ですか？これは如月ミオのお話だから。あの子は広大なプログラムとプログラムの狭間の海に沈み込んで。
It's the type of game that forgets every other character outside of their, like once you are in a certain character's route.
どういうことですか、それは。あんまりにも主人公があの子のことを相手にしないものだから、あの子のエンカウント率は下がりに下がって、そのまま遭遇率の数値そのものがゼロになっちゃったってこと。もっとわかりやすく教えていただけませんか、敷島さん。消えたの。このゲーム世界からの消失。
Just say that she just doesn't show up anymore, really.
もう少しで終わるから。
She's got better things to do.
おお、それはすごいね。どんなエンディングなのかな。楽しみだね。私も楽しみです。私のキャラはついには登場しないままでしたけど。
Everyone gathered around the dining room TV. All 8 of us are staring at the screen with bated breath. What's this feeling? It's like we're all in this together. Maybe we should throw a party or something once the game is finished. It seemed like an odd thought normally, but now, given the tension, but not now, given the tension in the air right now. Dialogue in the game begins to creep more and more towards romantic territory.
Yuma, 大好き。大好きって。どうしたの？どうしたのって？顔真っ赤っかだよ。なんでもない。少し前まで主人公には考えられないようなセリフでちょっと驚いただけ。そうなの？
Here it is, final choice. Hold hands and walk home. And the second choice, which is what Mio has to select to get the ending. Kiss her.
え？
She blinks at the screen in
キ
disbelief.
ス？おお、この主人公から中央するなんて、あんなにも全てにおいて否定的だったのに。
Suzu smiles, muttering in reflection. I guess people really can change. He's a fictional character. I don't think you need to be evaluating him like he's some real-world human with a conscience. Yet Mio will be, because she is not going to pick the kiss choice. So all we have to do is select choice 2 and we'll have completed the game. Sure, it was a long time in the making. Seriously long time. Like a fucking eternity. Absolutely fucking way too long. We've been tackling this game daily for 1 week straight. He really has done well to make it this far. Especially considering our lack of any real prior experience with video games. It was all thanks to her perseverance. This was a niche game among niche games. Most normal people would never last as long as she has. However, something soon starts to worry me. He keeps throwing flitting glances in my direction. What's this all about? Fingers are frozen too. She makes no attempt to press the button to select the choice and continue the game. Why is there some on my face?
別にユーマの顔なんか見てないから。
He turns the other way in a huff.
ニオ、ただ2を選択するだけ。こんなのただのゲームじゃない。
She's having some sort of conversation with herself. Then, once again, she glances in my direction.
ユーマ、
Yeah?
この主人公には ユーマの名前がついてるけど。
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's what you decided upon when you first started the game. Is there something wrong with the fact that he has my name? No, she responds, shaking her head.
ご不満ならこのまま1を選択してバッドエンドでも。2で。
She highlights the second option.
ここまで来て横道にそれてなんかいられないから。
She then presses the button. For whatever reason, her fingers tremble as she does so.
ユーマ、私幼馴染はもう嫌だよ。私ユーマと恋人同士になりたいよ。
Mio. Human said the game calls her name with such resolve that you'd think he'd been waiting for this
ユー
moment.
マ。
Two of them then share a kiss. After that, they begin to take things beyond merely whispering sweet nothings to each other, which is incredibly shocking given the game's progression, or lack thereof thus far. Hold up. My poor virgin eyes. What the? How far are they gonna take this? After their passionate kiss, they moved on to the next step. Even though they're a public place, they show no restraint whatsoever. Of course, they keep it appropriate enough to maintain the age rating. Still though, this scene is incredibly graphic. It certainly leaves little to the imagination. They kiss again. The wet, slopping sounds echo loudly from the speakers as they make out. Anyhow, oh, didn't know they were playing a Ubisoft game. The room has gone quiet as a mouse and stiff as ice. Scasa fidgets, only stealing the odd glance at the screen.
なるほど、お勉強になりますね。恋愛ゲームというのはすごいです。
Kana folds her arms and nods sagely. Aimu doesn't make a peep and looks away as if he wants to no part of this.
何この空気。これくらい全然許されるって思うの。
Kyo blinks around in confusion.
許容範囲内のエッチさだよね。
I look and am flabbergasted. Can't believe my eyes.
うん。
Even Suzu's face is a little red. Suzu?
何？
You're not blushing, are you?
そんなことないやい。
Oh, you ain't? You're not lying to me right now, are you? Scrunch up my face in disgust as I thought I just witnessed a particularly painful-looking punch in a TV show.
だから違うってば。というか、どうしてそんなに嫌そうな顔してるの
？She throws up her fists in protest, yelling out, "It's not fair of you to call me out like that." Suzu. Didn't we see some much more graphic than this in Kyo's room not too long ago? Not to mention how she tried to rub it in my face and make fun of me for being so embarrassed at seeing it.
いや、だってキスってそんな激しくするものなの？あんなに音がしちゃうものなの？
Master may be much more innocent than I'd expected. Isn't a facet of her personality that I'm willing to delve too deeply into, however. Last but not least, my childhood friend who's the player herself. How is she faring? She's sitting there in a daze. What's the matter, Mio? I've seen sounds continue to emanate from the TV. Even she appears to be contemplating turning the game off.
そうだ。ここはあれだよ。
Suzu suddenly stands up in clear
クリア
impatience.
記念にリアル世界の2人もキスで締めてもらうっていうのはどう？
What the heck kind of suggestion is that?
いいからほらほらやっちゃえよ。
She begins to chant kiss, kiss while clapping her hands rhythmically.
なんでこのアウェーな感じ。
Like, in Kana's case, it's if looks could kill. Aimu is just disappointed. He's not angry, just disappointed. She's gotta get one of those jokes in, at least. The others don't seem too enthusiastic about her idea, surprisingly enough. Suzu, that's a bit of a questionable thing to ask someone to do.
なんだ。
Even against my withering glare, she shows no signs of backing
舌
down.
を絡めてチューチュー吸っちゃえって。ダメですそれは。そんなこと絶対にさせませんから。
Kana then begins to argue back angrily. Meanwhile, Mio stands up quietly. Mio, everything okay?
うん。ちょっと部屋に戻ってる。ゲームは途中だけど、今日はここまでで。
He staggers out of the dining room without another word said.
どうしたのかな、ミオちゃん。ゲームのしすぎで疲れちゃったり？
He probably left because you attacked us jeering.
私のせいなの？もしかして。なんだか、キスラギお姉さん、元気がありませんでした。だから何なんだよ。これってみんなしてお姉さんを責めちゃう感じなの？
Just disappointed. She shrinks back. Who knows? Maybe she actually feels an inkling of remorse for once.
もしかして刺激が強すぎちゃったのかな？
Maybe you should have started off with something a bit more stomachable. Kyo mutters, tilting her head pensively. Wait, so you knew the game had scenes of this nature in it?
うん。でもこれくらい普通だよ。
You call that normal? Then again, I'm not knowledgeable enough about these games to know what the standard is.
では、ここで一旦休憩を挟んで。
Kind of claps her hands
次へ
together.
行きましょうか。次へ。
Next one? What next one?
はい。次は私の名前のついたヒロインの攻略を受け入れてくれるんですよね、ユウマさんは。
I'm sick of this game. I don't want to play it. I don't want to look at it. I'm done. Later that evening, Mio's mind seemed elsewhere all throughout dinner. She only gave vague, half-hearted responses when I tried to speaking to her. No matter what I said, right, yeah, uh-huh. All the replies were no more than one or two words. Any conversation I tried to start up died as soon as it began. What's going on with her? I'm a little worried, to be honest. I really shouldn't have pushed her into playing that game.
そうだな。確かに心配ではあるけれど、でも少し一人にさせておいたらどうだ？あの子も今日一日疲れちゃったのかもしれないし。
Yeah, she probably is.
一晩休んだら元に戻ってるさ。
I hope so. End up switching off the game, which we ultimately never completed.
.今日もミオちゃん、様子が変だったね。
Ni huiz. Huevo. Hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye bye.